The Ohaneze election is illegitimate and cannot be recognized anywhere in the world. Instead, I'm canvassing very seriously for World Igbo Congress to take over the affairs of doing what is social-cultural, whatever, of Igbo people. That is my preference, and that's what I will push for. That World Igbo Congress should rise to the plate and do the needful. They must do the needful, because Ohaneze will kill all of us. I'm telling you the truth. These people are evil. They have the money, they give them money, they pay the Vanguard correspondent in Enugu. They pay Guardian correspondent in Owerri to write Apex. Meanwhile, we are all dying. The Fulanis have installed Obiozo, their stooge. I must make it very, very clear to all and sundry that we do not recognize Ohaneze and their throne and Dioshu. World Igbo Congress should replace them immediately. They are nothing. The same way they used Zeke against Ojukwu. After composing the Biafra national anthem, Dr. Azikiwe jumped ship and joined Nigeria, because they promised him that one day he will be the head of state. Some of you don't know that Azikiwe was supporting Biafra until he jumped ship. The same promise they made to Awolowo. They also told Chifawo that, don't worry, one day you'll be president of Nigeria. Did that happen? No, it never happened. The only two Yoruba men that have ever sat at the helm of affairs in the zoo called Nigeria are those picked by Fulani people. Obasanjo was picked by the Fulani. So too was Shonekon after they annulled the win of Abiola, as if we do not know. They didn't stop there. They also used an anti-Biafran demon in the person of Obabiasika to try and finish off the job. Obabiasika, like Chimamanda Adichie, was an intellectual. He was a university of Ibadan, very, very learned. Obabiasika was very bright, very intelligent. And in order to prove to the British that he was detribalized, you know that stupid word, black buffoon, they start to talk nonsense. I don't see Biafra coming. They're not together. They're talking rubbish. Before the state of Israel was founded in 1948, the Jews all around the world were not together. They were not together. Go and read the book called Exodus. They were not together. The very prominent Jews in New York that had the money said no. In fact, they wanted to come and fight David Ben-Gurion. And at the port of Haifa, their ship was sunk. They brought arms to come and fight their own brothers, not to fight the Arabs that were attacking Israel from all corners and quarters. The same thing with us. Anybody who is a bit learned, if you write one or two things, you think you've arrived. And you can offer an opinion on Biafra, which you don't know. Very disappointingly, Chimamanda Adichie, that I had regard and respect for, was talking pure. People said you should understand it the other way. That is pure rubbish. To tell me you believe in Nigeria and you're learned, you believe in Nigeria, you went to school and you studied, and you believe in something that was created as a limited liability company, more or less, the zoo, Royal Niger Company. A white man will decide a name of a nation for you, decide what to... Wasted education. That tells you all you need to know. Now I understand the reason why they never gave the Nobel Prize to Chinua Achebe. Now I know. Before I thought I knew, but I didn't. They did not give the Nobel Prize to Chinua Achebe because he failed to denounce Biafra. Britain knew that Chinua Achebe was a hardcore Biafran. They denied him the Nobel Prize and gave it to Wole Soyinka instead. He wrote more books than Wole Soyinka. He's known all over the world than Wole Soyinka because he's a Biafran. That global conspiracy against us. His works has been translated to, is it 270? I don't know how many languages all over the world. Things fall apart. In fact, I suggest that Chimamanda goes back to read. Go back and read. Things fall apart. Achebe was more famous than you are. Chinua Achebe was more famous than Chimamanda. He was a Biafran. He died a very proud Biafran. You that came up, maybe because BBC gave you an award, maybe one glass ornament. You think you've arrived. You are now dining and drinking tea with white people. You now have opinion about Biafra. What do you know about Biafra? How can a people be united when they were defeated in a war? a war of attrition, what I call the Third World War. What do you know about Biafra? The trauma and the psychological damage we suffered during the war because of treachery from those we never expected would betray us. I'm talking about if they cannot unite. That England you go to, that place they call you to read stories for little children. Is the president of that place from Igbo land? They're talking about Igbo presidency. Is Boris Johnson an Igbo man? But they give you an award, and they give you all the limelight you need all over the world. And you're talking rubbish about Biafra. Rubbish that you don't know about. Let me remind you, the Jewish intelligentsia in US did not support Zionism. They never supported the methods and tactics of Egon and Haganah. Go and read their history. They blew Britain out of that very place with dynamite. That was how Britain left Palestine. Britain was in charge of Palestine. It is their job to suppress the light of God. That is their job, doing the job of Lucifer, always. They were given what was called the Palestine Mandate. Britain, very, very sad. Do you know that the brigadier, who was the garrison commander, in fact, the overall commander of the British forces in Palestine, was a Jewish man. He was a Jew, a British Jew. He was commanding a foreign army in the land of God, in the land of his ancestors. And he was working for Britain, trying to suppress Haganah and Egon. They were bombed out of Palestine. Should I say the land of Israel? That's not called Palestine anyway. Bombed out of the land of Israel. And rightfully so. You see omelette, aqua, egg, fried egg. You know that egg is very precious and very beautiful. Before you can make an omelette, you must break an egg. Do you understand what that means? If you don't know what it means, please go back. Go back, please. And study it very carefully. We are prepared to break as many eggs as possible to fry this very beautiful omelette that is Biafra. We don't listen to what people say. You can talk from now till the kingdom come, write your garbage in Punch newspaper, in Nation, in Vanguard. From now till the kingdom come, this means nothing to us. We continue what we are doing. You can buy over 1 or 2 saboteurs. That is entirely your business. We number in millions all over the world. In millions all over the world. As you know, 200 times,